and welcome everyone to the first spoiler cast for Marvel's What If? ... question mark. My brain really doesn't like the fact that it's the ellipses and a question mark. I'm like, no, shouldn't the third dot be the question mark? But grammatically correct, the title is right. I'd be wrong in that case, but for no, that's 4 and not a 3.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Grammar Cast.
Welcome to how my brain works. It is very smooth. It's not as wrinkly as it should be.
It's okay. I get a lizard brain too.
Here is my brain. It's barren of wrinkles. So yeah, as always, you can follow me on Twitter at Mitch692, and of course, I'm joined by Sean.
Hey, you can join me at MarvinTheMartian _12 on Instagram. If you guys want to join, hopefully next month, I might have some special things going on the Instagram only. So yeah, hit the follow button and find out.
No amazing secrets, I take it.
Yeah,
none of that.
I mean, you're not gonna walk in the door and Charlie Cox is behind the door. And Nick, no Zack Snyder. Sorry.
No, Nick's all chomping at the bit for Cox. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Cox and enough. What do you mean I can't play?
Kind of sounds funny when you said it that way.
Slap me on that one. It's just like it's a COX.
I was gonna say it kind of sounds funny when you say it out loud.
But yeah, what if? Where to start with what if? Where to start?
I mean, you want to start with the animation? Did you like it?
The animation, it is absolutely the best out of the gate 3D animation I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen the 3D animated series be that smooth. It's always there's always something wrong with it. This was like, no, we're getting this out as we're like a season 2 for everything else. So I look forward to see how. And obviously, this being the first one they kind of worked on. Oh, obviously, because it's the first episode. No, so obviously, it's the earliest one out of everything that comes. So it's only ever going to get better. I can't wait to see how it goes on from here.
I mean, when I first saw a couple minutes here and there about a year ago, and I'm like, it kind of threw me off. But then, like, when you're watching the whole episode in total, it reminded me of like the old Fleischer Superman, but better. Like it. Very, it gave me that warm and fuzzy feeling inside, and like I love, even though like some of the actors don't come back, it still works a lot, Yeah, I love the whole cell. It just reminds me of looking through a virtual comic, when you're flipping.
I'll say that's the one area personally I'd want them to focus on the most is the cell shading. Because it looks good now, but sometimes it can look a little bit off-putting.
Yeah.
Or not, maybe not off-putting, a bit uncanny valley, I think. It doesn't. Something about it is a bit weird. I was like, what?
Well, I think it's just like it's so different from what every other company's doing right now. I think I think a lot of people have to get used to it, but once you get used to it, like it took me about 30 minutes to acclimate to the whole thing, and like
once you get
once you get acclimated to it, like I started wanting to see more. Like I just was like, I can't wait to episode 2. I love the title sequence, the beginning where it kind of
that reminded me of the Endgame posters, and I'm just like, oh, they look so good.
And using Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher was perfect. Like the guy's got a voice that you could imagine that Uatu.
I was honestly expecting a lot more of Jeffrey Wright in this, not just hey, I'm going to explain what if is at the start and then end, and then that's something at the end of the episode. I'm like, oh, I was hoping for a little bit more in that, but I don't know. This felt a bit very much like a pilot for Peggy Carter, and I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely a pilot for her. I don't know if the other episodes are going to be all exactly the same, because I feel, or at least the marketing gives off that it's not an anthology. There is an overarching plot to
this. I think it came. I think it came off that way in the beginning. Like the marketing kind of like made it look like an anthology, but I think they smoothed out the in later marketing ads.
I mean, the whole entire concept's like, oh, we're gonna have an episode of this. Like, what if this? What if that? Like, it just feels like an anthology, and obviously, it looks like Ultron's the big bad of at least this season. Like, thank you Hyundai for that advert, confirming what I already figured.
Yeah, that was a great commercial.
Just like
the best part about the show is like, hey, it makes animation more relevant. It's like it gives it more of a like. These are all connected, and it's these. I always looked at these episodes and shows as like kind of a test run to see what could work, and because I mean, surprise, you might see some of this stuff in live action. I mean, it's
I'll be perfectly honest. It's not a surprise. I think if anyone's shocked by that, if you ever see like Captain Carter in Doctor Strange or whatever we see her, it's kind of like, oh yeah, like why would we not see them in live action?
Or you might see the Watcher too. I'm just putting that out there. I mean, like
Jeffrey Wright's big bald head and in that cape. I don't want CGI. I want big headed Jeffrey Wright.
It's not out of left field too, because they've already introduced it in the Guardians that the Watchers are a race, so it's like
it's true. They did, yeah. I totally forgot about that caveat. I totally forgot.
Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him and Doctor Strange too. And this is not a confirmation, people. I'm not telling you anything, so I don't want to see headlines or leaked. It's just, I mean, I think with the show being a multiverse, and then you got like all these other movies,
it lends itself. Like there's an obvious multiversal arc happening right now. Like Wanda sets it up a little bit at the end. Loki blows the door wide.
Blows it open.
What if it's like just staring in the doorway, looking out at what's actually going on out there? And then you obviously got in the multiverse of madness. Like, of course, there's going to be some connection there. Why wouldn't there be?
I always loved these comics when I grew up. This is like one of my favorite comics.
Everyone loved the What Ifs. They're so good.
Well, I like the What Ifs, the Elseworlds from DC. Like just something like I like that whole. I loved reading the I guess what ifs, of what could have happened, and like this is some of my favorite comics reading as a kid was these, and I never really dreamt that this was going to be a possibility, and like, yeah, I love the fact that it's a cel-shaded anime series for 30 minutes, roughly, it's great.
I would say a part of me it's like it's a bit like a Scanner Darkly, I suppose, but not quite.
Yeah.
It gives
like
off that
vibe. Rotoscope.
Yeah. It gives off that vibe a little bit.
Yeah.
There's sometimes like this is obviously animation because like you've also got like the painted backgrounds.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know exactly what next episode's coming up, but like,
next week is the Bozeman Star-Lord.
Bozeman, yeah.
Then I think episode 3 is Loki. I think that's what's supposed to be.
Yeah.
No one's really talking about that one, but I want to say it was a Loki.
The zombie one's gonna be pretty interesting for people's like.
That's the Spider-Man one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's gonna be. It's gonna be pretty well.
Seeing this zombie hunter Spider-Man and like he's wearing a Doctor Strange cape, I'm just like, why zombie hunter? I don't understand how you go from A to B. It's just like, okay.
It'll connect the dots in the show.
I mean, I should be will, but it just looks weird, and I'm like, why is that zombie hunter? Like, if you're going to do zombie hunter, you make him look a bit more like a zombie hunter.
Yeah. I mean, again, just yeah.
But then, like that literally completely like goes against one of my biggest criticisms of this episode, and this felt very paint by numbers for the first Avenger. And like, I get the whole thing of introduce the thing slowly to the people, but I feel like after this amount of time, should be past that. Maybe that's just me being optimistic and people have their handheld for the first half hour or whatever. But it's like you could have done it a bit more. It's very. The only real big difference here is the Hydra Stomper. And it's just like,
Yeah.
okay,
Very surprising, right?
okay, cool. Like, how did this thing work? I don't know. Although we did the commentary. I then later found out that it's powered by the Tesseract, and I was like, well, how does this thing work? And it's a Tesseract. That cool. I completely missed that watching it twice back. I'll hold my hands up.
Oh, you mean the Hydra Stomper?
Yeah, because I'm like, he's limited. Like, I know the whole thing's a what if. You could just go, well, what if he had the technology of its time? It's like, oh, yeah, but like, how did he power the damn thing? I don't understand. It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I retract my statements.
Yeah. The other one I can't wait is a Killmonger. Yeah.
Does he have more than one, or is the one where he's like leading Wakanda the same as the Tony Stark one?
I believe it's the same one. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
It's it has a interesting story, to say the least.
I should hope they're all interesting to me.
Well, I mean, they're all interesting, but like, I think those are the two my favorites that I've seen. Like, yeah.
Now, I think I've kind of just got to get it out there. The voice acting in this, I am not. I'm a fan. I said this a couple of days ago. I appreciate the want for continuity with the voices and the characters.
Yeah.
But I don't think I feel like that's come at the expense of immersion. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like acting and voice acting are two very different things.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know that before, I think you definitely know it with this thing. Because you can tell who's a voice actor and who isn't.
Yeah.
Even though, is it Josh Keaton who did Steve in this?
Josh Keaton,
yeah. Like he does a pretty good first Avenger, Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Like, it took me a while to realize it wasn't actually Chris Evans. Like, I had to remind myself that no, he didn't come back for this. But then you get like Haley Atwell, and I'm like,
I
wasn't feeling it first.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think voice acting and acting are completely different things. You know, like you can be a great actor, but then the voice acting could be just kind of cardboardy. You know, not to say that she did the terrible job.
It wasn't. I don't know if I want to 100% say it was completely her fault if it was like a voice director, like not really getting her to the point where she could have been. Because I'm certain Haley Atwell's done voice acting before. I want to say she's been in something, but I can't remember what. So it's like I don't know. It was a little distracting in this, and yeah.
But it's like two completely different arts in a way, man.
Yeah.
Because you can be like, there's very few actors that can pull like Mark.
Not everyone's a Mark Hamill.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mark Hamill's like the outlier in this whole thing where he can just do anything at this point, you know.
Yeah.
But like it does take it's just a certain thing that you need to have with voice acting because, like, the acting is like. I don't even know how to explain it because I'm not an actor.
But no, because it's like I said, I can't remember if it was in the commentary. I'm pretty certain it was in the commentary. I was like, you got to act from nothing. Like, you're literally on your own. But I know people are going to be like, oh, they're against the green screen in the movies. It's like, yeah, but you have people there. And it's just on a stage. It's like, cool, you're going to be doing this. You got props to help you out. Voice acting, you're literally doing what I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
maybe I'm standing up, maybe I'm sitting down. I have a microphone in front of me. I'm probably watching the thing that's going on. Like that's kind of no.
Well, and like I know a lot of this was done from home, so like
it's
hard to get in that like zone,
especially if you're not a voice actor. Like to actually get yourself there at home is a bit yeah.
But it wasn't bad. It was just kind of still.
No, I've heard far worse. It was just very. I don't want to call it like a perfect storm, but like the safeness of this first episode and voice acting kind of really not put me down on the entire thing because I want to see it's obviously it's gonna get nuttier as it goes on. Like the whole upfront thing, like that's clearly going the direction that I want it to go in. But it's just like a very, very middling start for me.
Yeah, and you can almost say that the episode kind of does the same thing because it's like I know that it was done. It was like one of the earlier episodes done. So like it was a good starting point, but it was kind of like safe in a way.
Yeah,
because it was just like we're gonna open up with something really familiar, and give the people some time to outcome.
Yeah, and it's stuck to it really closely as well. It's like here's this plot beat we had, here's this plot beat, here's that plot beat. Remember this? Oh, you almost tore my arm off. Like, okay, I got it. I get it.
But it does introduce a new character into the Marvel universe, so it's not all bad.
What, the Watcher? Oh, what are you? Right. That is Shuma Gorath, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Because it's like me and we were talking about this. You look at the door or whatever it is that the Red Skull has, and it's like it's a bunch of octopus arms because they're not tentacles with an eyeball in the middle of it. Obviously, Shuma Gorath. Why? It's not going to be anything. You don't focus on that if it's anything up, but then the portal opens and you have the octopus arms, but then you have a mouth. And I'm like, why not show the eyeball? Like, just I just really wanted it to confirm because where it is now, it's like it could just be a multi-dimensional octopus for all I know. It might not be Shuma Gorath. Like, obviously, even though the arms, it's like the many-angled one coming into play there. That's why. But it's like I just want to see the eyeball. Just show me the eye. I know we just had the Suicide Squad with Starro, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, it's a space starfish." It's like Shuma Gorath is not a starfish.
It's a little different from. I mean, I think it's the character is vastly different from Starro. I mean, the look. I mean, you could make an argument that they're a little bit more.
Starfish is a limited amount of arms. Shuma Gorath is the many-angled one. He has put some respect on the name.
Yeah, well, I think the Shuma Gorath is like a little bit more of a developed character versus Starro is a developed character. Don't get me wrong, but it's like the way they portrayed him in the movie. I mean, it has similarities, but it's completely different. I mean, two totally different species.
I love Starro, just FYI.
I know.
We haven't talked about the movie on the channel yet, but I adored the hell out of that.
Again, that was probably one of my favorite DC movies ever.
I am going to go out and publicly say right now, I think it's their best movie they've ever done.
Oh yeah, 100%. I not to make this the Suicide spoiler cast, but like I think this is too little, too late for the WB movies.
Possibly,
but I think I mean, shit. I mean, it's good. It's good. It shows that they could do good movies. So it's like.
And all it took was a Marvel director. Who'd have thunk? But anyway, Shuma Gorath. It's the consensus online that it is, but my brain won't let me believe that it is because like I didn't see.
It's like there's no proof.
Yeah, it's just a portal with tentacles right now, arms right now. Like it is. I need to see the eyeball.
I mean, who's to say you won't?
I'm not saying not saying we might not at some point, but it's just like I need to see it now.
I would love
the
to
door
see
wasn't enough for me. I need actual visual confirmation.
I want to see the eyeball.
I just want to see Shuma, man. Just I need a good full screen shot of Shuma before I believe it.
I mean, you might get one better though eventually.
I need it so bad. So I assume he's like that. It's the connection to Doctor Strange, personally.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Because he excuse me. He fits in the whole wonder and chaos magic. You completely bypass. I can't think of his name. Who was I saying? Cthulhu, that's the one. Yeah. You completely bypass him and go for Shuma.
If you go back to WandaVision, there are some images that kind of look like what could very well be Shuma.
So, I'm gonna have to go watch that again now.
I mean, I think there's like the tentacles and stuff like that, and that might
where?
indicate like when she was showing, they were talking about the Legend of the Scarlet Witch. You know, like in the book, I think it was a Darkhold. They were looking and they saw the picture.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It might
That makes a lot of sense. That they did look a bit Octopus Army. Yeah.
So I mean, like, it'd be great. I think it would be nice to see that. I mean, I would take that over Nightmare any day.
100%. And it fits more in with the multiversal stuff as well.
Yeah, I never got the connection with Nightmare. I mean, I get it. Nightmare is a pretty interesting character, but
people were saying Nightmare purely because it's like they said it's going to be a horror movie, and people went straight for Nightmare and then do Freddy Krueger.
You know what the funny thing is? Like, if you look through Doctor Strange's like rogues, like there's so many more interesting and more characters that are a little bit more that could tie into this over Nightmare. Even when you say horror movie, you're like, you know, like, I mean, when you get down to it, if you're not sleeping, Nightmare has no control over you. You know,
there's literally like 1,001 like Lovecraftian villains that Doctor Strange has. Like a Beetlejuice ripoff is not that scary. Let's be honest, he literally looks like Beetlejuice.
He does. Like that suit and that white. I'm never gonna get that image out of my head now. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more connection
with Shuma,
yeah, versus like the Nightmare again, interesting, but it just doesn't. It never made sense to me. I feel like the people that said that are like not the people who read Doctor Strange. You know, it's
just a typical. Oh, I've heard this name thrown about on the internet, therefore it must be right.
Or they Googled Doctor Strange villains and like
they
saw that and like, oh yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. Well, not just Googling what villains he has, they're Googling the top 5.
Yeah.
And you're getting a really bad list, like they always are. We clearly Dormammu at number 1, and it's a picture of the MCU one, because it's not the comics cover.
Or they're listening to certain, you know, scoop sheets, you know, and they're. I'm not going to name any specifically, but you know.
Yeah, let's not call out people. I don't want that drama.
Yeah, but like, I mean, so how did you like the story altogether? Did you find it different?
The story's fine. It's just fine. Really, it was too close to the first Avenger.
It wasn't too
too close. No. Like even the ending, it's like cool. You ended up in Avengers this time, not the. It was cool to see Renner Jackson back.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. The Renner Jeremy Renner thing kind of threw me off though. Like it didn't really look.
I didn't really pay much attention to the face, but again, I felt like from the trailers the Hemsworth face looks really weird. Like it looks like Hemsworth, but it doesn't look like Hemsworth. I'm just like, well, even my mother, pushing 60-year-old mother was like, that's not Hemsworth. It's like, that's not Hemsworth at all.
Yeah.
Like, what have they done to him? It's just like, I put that down purely to the art style.
Yeah.
Just the lighting in this thing is clearly going to get better. And people are saying it should look like Clone Wars and all that stuff. No, shut up. No.
They say that now, but then I don't think
it's the thing. If they started with the Clone Wars animation, people would absolutely crap all over this thing because it literally just looks like Star Wars.
Oh, they would have been saying it copied the style.
And it's like, let's be honest here. The Clone Wars stuff now, and like the Bad Batch, has a really good lighting engine. Their art style is ugly as crap. It is horrendous. It was horrendous from the day it started. It's going to be horrendous until the day they decide or actually realize it looks ugly as crap.
I like the idea that they just tried something different though. Like that's what I like.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's even different from all the competitors animated.
Yeah, it's like Marvel
style.
is not Star Wars. Marvel is not anything else. Like it's not DC.
Definitely sets it apart.
It's far removed from the faux anime Marvel animation used to love doing. Which
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I kind of liked that look. Like, I had a soft spot for it. I think Rise of Technovore looks great, but the movie's trash. No.
Yeah, I like the problem. The problem with the like some of that faux anime style is like it's not true anime in a sense.
No.
I think
And it doesn't look like anime, and it doesn't look like the characters. So you get this weird middle ground to it. But I have a soft spot for it.
It kind of looks like an American like take on what anime looks like.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, no, I shouldn't say anything. But like, I'll tell you off air. But yeah, I mean, it's I love. Could you watch more like a season of something like this? More seasons like this? Because it's gonna get better and better.
I think it depends. I think this could easily from this first 30 minutes alone, and I know we got another 9 slots of 30 minutes to go, so that's what however many hours it's gonna be, 6 hours, whatever. From this very first one, if I'm gonna unfairly do it, I don't think I could. I think this could easily be a one and done, and I could be perfectly fine with that. If this goes how I think it's gonna go, and depending obviously how good that is, then yeah, and if you keep mixing it up, because the great thing about this whole concept is you have an infinite world to pull from. You don't have to do every single movie you've ever done, because you can literally just, it'll be boring as hell eventually, but you could repeat the biggest movies you've had and be like, oh well, what if this happened, and then go in a really butterfly effect direction from that. Like you just repeat that over again. Obviously I doubt they do that, because why would you ever do that? But I think lends itself to being this lends itself to being both a one-off and an infinite spanning thing, because you haven't even got to follow the movies. You know, what if just pull any random question out your ass, and there you go. That's an episode. Like, I can't even think of one. It's too broad of a thing.
I think this season is like, so why it's so closely, tied to the movies is because it has the connection to the movies, and it's supposed to it's supposed to branch out from like the Loki series. So like, if and when they do something different with this the What If series, I mean, you could go in either direction. I would honestly want to go with like pulling from the comic series. I would love to see that. And like you could almost change the animation style to fit that, but like I kind of want to see more of this to see how
I really want them to implement comic storylines into this. Like you could use this as a way to do that. So it's like, what if Captain America was Hydra, and then just do Secret Empire, and just do Secret Empire or like one for one, like with whatever characters you have, just do that storyline one for one, and you can do that here with this, and it's gonna look, and it'll be great. You might have to be a little bit longer than 30 minutes, but then you can make that the entire season. Like, no, just have that like what if, and then the subtitle is Captain America's Hydra, and how does that span across and stuff like that.
And the beautiful part about that is like you can still use that in canon too.
Exactly.
Like you can almost use the MCU style of characters and just implement the storylines. Like what if Chris Evans' version of Captain America was Hydra? That not necessarily like you could do something like the comic look, but I think that's a way to keep it in canon, like more close to canon, and like you could pull from that. And like people will be like, all right, they could buy it being a part of that, that universe.
You could do like, what if Star-Lord would like obviously not have this as a question, but like make him more of a Han Solo type character. So then you can do like Annihilation and stuff. What if the Nova Corps did this? And there you go. You got Annihilation and stuff like that. Like I think that'd be really cool. Go down the pipeline.
Yeah. Possibilities are endless.
I apologize right now for whatever. If you heard that bang a second ago, I have no idea what that was. Literally, my floor vibrated because I'm suspended. Like I'm not actually, but I'm above nothing right now. So I just sat here shaking a little bit. And also that lawnmower.
I apologize for a baby a kid going completely insane like 10 seconds ago.
I mean, for the most part, he's been good, so that's fine. But yeah, the lawnmower and whatever the hell that banging was, I don't know. If someone got shot. Actually, yes, I shouldn't say now because we just had something like that happen over here.
If you hear sirens, then you know for sure that that's the case.
I don't know what it is. I'm kind of scared about it, but yeah. But yeah, I think we can wrap that up here. Wrap that up now. It's 30 minutes. I don't tend to like going over the length of the actual show itself.
Yeah.
Just like, still got 2 minutes, guys. Fine. So yeah, we will catch you all next week with episode 2, which I believe is the what if T'Challa was Star-Lord and how that all goes.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll get a development on the whole Batista thing because that thing's gone spicy.
I don't know.
Marvel's like come out and said that they did actually ask him. Like everyone was asked in some shape or form. So I have to see how that one goes.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds. Let's see what his rebuttal is.
Yeah, there's a lot of unfortunate but tasty drama going on right now. I love and hate it. I live for a bit of drama sometimes.
It's like the comic book TMZ going on.
Yeah. So yeah, we will catch you all next time. So bye-bye.
Bye-bye.